Welcome back. This session will be about core marketing concepts. Many times we will have a very good understanding of what is marketing, but some very basic terms, if we are asking, no, we will be turning blind and will not be able to answer. So, maybe for some of the students who have done business studies already, this would be more familiar, but it is important from our part to refresh for those students and also for other students to understand very clearly with these basic terms. So, few terms what we'll be looking at here is market, need, want, demand, value, satisfaction, who we will call as a marketer, and whom we will call as a prospect. The first one is market. So, market, as it is more familiarly everyone is aware, it's going to be a place, simply a place where buyers and sellers are going to meet. It's something as simple, mostly every one of you will be aware it. The change in the technological revolution has probably given a bit of other extension. So market is something not confined to a physical place. Earlier, whenever we say market, it is only a very physical place. There should be a place where people will really meet. But now there is a change that we see, it is even happening in an online space. So today's market, where buyers and sellers meet, may be a physical environment, a physical place where these people meet, or it can be a online space. The definition has been refined accordingly with the change in the technology. So anywhere on the physical space or on the online space, buyers and sellers meet, that will be referred as a market. Moving to the next concept, what is a need? Need, as we say, it can be always referred as a basic human requirement. Okay, so if it's a basic human requirement, how do we furthermore understand this? Say, for example, when someone asks me, are you feeling hungry? What do you want? Obviously, my answer will be, I need something to eat. I need some food. I need something to eat. So, that is a basic human requirement. If I say I'm feeling thirsty, obviously, I mean, like, no, I need something to drink. So, that is a basic human requirement. So, this basic requirement, whenever you are telling that, what is that you require? When I'm feeling hungry, I need some food. When I'm feeling thirsty, I need something to drink. The word something is important. Something to eat, something to drink. The something is important. It may be anything. No, it can be anything. When I want something to eat, that can be anything, probably a pizza, or it can be a burger, or it can be a cake. When I say I want something to drink, it can be either a cup of coffee or a tea, or it can be a juice. So I'm not specifying that I need a coffee, I need a tea, I need a pizza, I need a cake, I need a burger. I'm just specifying that I need something. I require this. I require some food. I require some drink. So that is what is the concept of need. Okay. Then how do we say that you need a pizza? How do you say that you need a drink? That is where the concept of want comes in. If you look at it here, want directed to specific object that satisfy a need. I am looking for something to eat. So that is a need. But if I say very specifically, I'm directing to pizza and saying, I want pizza, or I'm specifying it to cake and saying, I want cake to eat, I want a burger to eat. When I'm specifying to something, when I'm pointing out to something and say, then that becomes a want. That is what is the difference between a need and a want. Need is a very basic requirement. It's a very basic requirement. You don't specify anything in a requirement. You just state what is your requirement. But when you are very specifically pointing out to something, that becomes the want. Usually, it is a tendency of every human. We always want the world. We try to point out at whatever is available. எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் selfishness, jealous, பேராசை, everything is there, right? We want everything. Whatever we see, we want. Like we are all like small kids only. When the small kids, when you leave them inside the toy shop, no, or some other places, a new place which excites them, they will go and pick up everything and they will keep all the things with them in their hand because they want everything. So similarly, we also, as even though we are adults or we are grown ups, we we want everything. Whatever we see in the world, we want. So we are directing it, not specific object. Sometimes we even direct it every object, right? So directing to specific object, which will satisfy your need. I may feel hungry, but I don't point out to a coffee or a tea or a juice. I point out to something which will quench. I'm sorry, it's not quench. I will point out to something which will satisfy my hunger. What will satisfy my hunger? Drinking a glass of water, drinking a juice may not help me, but for maybe for someone, but it will not help me. But eating a pizza or eating a burger or a cake may satisfy my hunger. So, directed to specific object that satisfy a need. So, this is another image. See, want, need, must have. Who decides this? Whenever someone says, Madam, I'm feeling hungry, I can give him anything, right? I can give him pizza, I can give him burger, or I can give him cake. I need not give him very specifically this. But when is that comes in? Must have. You are very focused and you are pointing out very specifically that you want that particular thing. So that is why this must have option comes in. Okay, so what happens when this need and wants get matched? Say, for example, I'm feeling hungry. This happens even at home. You will say, Mama, I'm feeling hungry. Your mother will say, okay, there is some idli or dosa or something. But you will say, no, no, I'm not feeling hungry for this. So, when you will become happy, probably inside your mind you would are thinking about a pizza. If you get a pizza and if you eat that pizza, you'll become happy. So, that is what it says. When the need and the want is met, then this person is a satisfied person. You become a happy person, right? So that is what is the difference between a need and a want. So please make a note of it. Need is any basic human requirement, and want is when you are directing, pointing out to a specific object. Now, then what will be the demand? So whatever is the want as the demand comes in. Today you have only 50 rupees with you and you are feeling hungry. Probably you can get a piece of cake or you can get a piece of burger. But what you are desiring, what you are really wanting is you want to eat a pizza. So that is your desire. You have a desire to eat pizza. Though you may have a desire to eat pizza, whether you have the ability to buy, only if you have the ability to buy and then you have the desire, that will create a demand. But just having 50 rupees and if you have the desire alone, will that create a demand? No, it will not create a demand. So, want for specific products backed by an ability to pay. That is what will be an demand. So, demand happens only when both these things matches. There should be a desire at the same time, ability to buy. Either of it, if it is not there, then there will be no demand. So, that's again is the concept of demand. Wants for specific products backed by an ability to pay. Okay, here I'll give you with an example. I physically need water to survive. I need water. That's a basic requirement. So that is a need. But if you say I want clean, safe to drink good tasting water, it become a want. Just water is a need. But if you put so many conditions and clauses pointing out specifically that you want clean, safe, good tasting water, then it become a want. But okay, this is all is available in the market. Your water bottle is probably costing you 20 rupees, that is available in the market, but you don't have 20 rupees with you. Then will there be a demand? No, there will not be any demand. So you can create a demand for smart water since it is vapor distilled with added electrolytes for taste, provided who can buy this? Only when they have an ability to buy. So that's the difference between a need, a want, and a demand. Need is the human requirement. Want is the pointing out of specific objects. Demand is desire along with ability to buy. So that is where the concept of marketing comes in. The marketing will relate need, want, and demand. It is not important they have a need, it should be pointed out to and want, and it has to be backed by an ability to pay, which integrates marketing. The next one, what we will see is value. So, what we say, this is what Warren Buffett says, price is what you pay, value is what you get. In simple terms, to make you understand, I will say value is benefits versus cost. Say, for example, one day you are going to a buffet in a very big restaurant, and that person tells you, sir, today we have reduced the price charges. Usually it is 500 rupees. Today it is only 100 rupees. But the same menu or whatever is available, the same thing is there. There is no changes in that. See, you are going to get a buffet, either a lunch or a dinner, which is actual, it's the 500 rupees, but you are getting at a charge of 100 rupees. So the benefits that you are getting is actually more compared with the cost. So the benefits versus the cost will determine the value. So then what will you say? Obviously you will say the value is high. But whereas if the benefits have been low, but you have spent more, you have spent, the cost has been more, then in that case the value will be low. So the value is determined by QSP, quality, service, and price. The next one we will talk about is satisfaction. There are different types of customer we will talk about: dissatisfied, satisfied, delighted. And how do we say whether a customer is dissatisfied, customer is satisfied, or a customer is delighted? It is all based on performance versus expectation. See, you have an expectation in your mind as a customer, but the real time performance will be different. Say, for example, you brought a mobile phone, you thought like it will perform like an Apple iPhone. In that particular case, the customer judgment was different. So he feels that my product has not served whatever purpose I brought for. So in that case, the customer is a dissatisfied customer. Say, for example, when he expected some features of Apple iPhone in a normal Android phone, and those were available, and he started using it. So in this particular case, the customer is happy. Okay, I expected all this Apple iPhone features in this particular Android phone, so I am very happy. I mean, I'm satisfied. But probably, if the customer got some additional benefits, and this Android phone is performing more than that of Apple iPhone, in those cases, the customer becomes a delighted customer. So the satisfaction depends on the judgment of what is the performance and what is the expectation they had. So the satisfaction will decide whether it is a dissatisfied customer or a satisfied customer or a delighted customer. But not necessarily. In either cases, if you take value or satisfaction, this is all very specific to a particular person. It may vary. The value and satisfaction for the particular person for a particular product will be different for another particular person and another for the same product. So it need not be the same. It is all depending upon what are the benefits that he wanted, or what is the performance that it is showing up for him from the basis of his expectation. So that's different. So we will move on to the last concept, terminology, marketer and a prospect. Whenever we say a marketer, he is seeking responses. But whenever we say it is a prospect, that party is called as a prospect. If we get into the sales field, very often you will hear this terminology. Prospect. He is a prospective customer. I have so many number of prospects. Meaning that these people are ready, or they have started showing positive responses. You will say sales has happened only when they have brought the product. But you will say it as a prospect, meaning like they have shown some positive responses and they are going to buy that particular product or service. Now, we will move on to what can be marketed. We already discussed from a hand wash, hand sanitizer to a space tourism, or it may be an oxygen cafe. Anything can be marketed in this world. Are we marketing ourselves? Yes, I am, and every one of us is marketing. Even if you go for an interview, there also you are going to market yourself, right? You are selling yourself for that particular job. That is the marketing. Now, this video, whatever we have uploaded in YouTube, is also being marketed. Sometimes it may come in the search list of any people who is watching or searching for this particular videos, or I can promote these videos. There again, I can market this. So anything can be marketed. It can be everything, almost everything. But we'll see specifically goods. I hope everyone else has agree. Each of this product, whatever we see here, is being marketed. Then services, we go for a car wash, or we go for a restaurant, any saloons, spas, or say this looks like a play school. All the services is being marketed. Events, there is a book fair that's going up. This book fair is marketed. And sometimes, how do they market it? It's not just putting banners or promotions and advertising in newspapers. They conduct so much of programs in the book fair. There are some debates that going in the book fair. So, and there are some competitions which are running up in the book fair. Why are they all doing this? Because they just wanted to market the events. Are we marketing experiences? Yes. If you have a trekking activity, or it may be gliding, or it may be a scuba diving, or it may be something like your Walt Disney or our Black Thunder MGM, which is all just creating and providing experiences for you people. So experiences are also being marketed. Are we marketing persons? If we look at the uh, 2012 US elections, Obama's strategy to market through social media and online networks was one of the very important aspect for him to take up the president position. Or the same may apply to our prime minister also. In fact, he has been also been built up as a brand today. And how did this happen? Because persons were marketed, celebrities are being marketed, and very importantly, beyond celebrities, beyond this kind of marketing and politics, we ourselves in our daily life are marketing ourselves. We put up status in WhatsApp, that is one form of marketing. You put post in Facebook, update yourself in Instagram, tweet in Twitter. All this is all like you are marketing yourself. You are like no keeping on updating to others what you are doing. Indirectly or directly, you are marketing yourself. And when you go to the interview panel, obviously you are marketing yourself because you are trying to sell yourself for a particular job position, right? So marketing of persons can happen. Marketing of places. the most familiar with the tourism aspect. Kerala, Incredible India, Malaysian tourism, Tamil Nadu. So places can be marketed, properties can be marketed, but two types of properties we will talk about. One is a real estate property, which is a physical one, whereas this physical meaning the tangible ones, and the intangible ones, the stocks and bonds. So properties can be marketed. Organizations are marketed. Why is organization? See, it's a university, it is a corporate, it is an NGO, it is a museum. These are being marketed. Why organizations has to be marketed? They obviously wanted to build their own particular brands. If you say Nestle or Amul, sometimes they will develop corporate advertisements just for branding of that institution. Especially with Amul, I remember. With Amul cheese, you will get a separate advertisement. With Amul any other product, butter or something, you get separate advertisements. But you will have one advertisement with Amul which will show up all the products of Amul, and which will show how they are procuring and how safe they are processing it, which obviously is the marketing of Amul. And universities, obviously they do market, non-governmental organization to get funds, museums to promote their like no whatever they have, that is also being marketed. Information, this is one big area which is very familiar nowadays. Whatever we see in Google, YouTube, see for example this video is being uploaded, it's a handful of information about a particular topic. So there are so many people who has published videos. So if, for example, if I have to promote my video, I have to do all the marketing of my particular video, of my particular channel, then only I'll become a very successful YouTuber. How do I become a successful YouTuber? I have to put all my efforts how to promote my videos. So information is being marketed. So with this we will come to the end of this particular core marketing concepts. So we will catch up in our next session. Thank you.